A blood-red dawn crackled across the jagged spires of the Badlands as the apex of the Dark Blade clan emerged from the shadows. Nearly 8 feet tall, his frame was a living testament to predator evolution. Sinewy muscle cords rippled beneath black chitin armor that rippled like liquid obsidian, shifting hue to mirror the swirling crimson sands. His skin, a mottled gray canvas etched with centuries of battle scars, peeked through segmented plates reinforced with alien ceramite. 6 ruby-red dots, 2 above, 4 below, glowed on his mask in a triangular formation, each a micro-lens calibrated to thermal, ultraviolet, electromagnetic, and even psychic signatures. From the helm's crown spilled thick white dreadlocks, each bound in brass rings engraved with runes of honor and stained with the bioluminescent green of his clan's bloodline. Long ago, on the volcanic world of Maurikau, an orphaned hatchling distinguished himself among his brood. While his siblings brawled with reckless abandon, he studied. He traced the patterns of prey, recorded their breath rhythms, noted the flicker of their fear. In that patience lay his power. By 50 cycles, predator adolescence, he faced the rite of the molten maw, a pit of searing lava and whirling plasma spears meant to purge the unworthy. Where most emerged burnt and broken, he strode unscathed, visor unblinking, heart steady as the molten flows. That trial forged his first bloodmark, anchoring him to destiny. His earliest acclaim came on Mzar Prime, a world choked by ash storms and roving hive beasts. There, the planet's apex hunter, a 6-limbed behemoth with acid-spitting mandibles, had slaughtered dozens of his clan. He stalked that terror in ghostly silence, luring it into an underground chasm rigged with seismic charge. When the beast tumbled into the abyss, he harvested its carapace, sculpting his first mask in the 6-dog motif that would become his signature. Whispers of the silent arbiter spread through the hunting houses, carried on the wind like sparks to dry tinder. Towering yet surprisingly lithe, he moves with controlled power, his magnetic grip boots leaving no tracks and his gait a whisper on stone. His layered chitin plates adaptively refract light and absorb thermal signatures, rendering him nearly invisible when still, while serrated pauldrons rise like demon horns to proclaim apex rank. A matte jet mask, set with 6 glowing ruby dots, pulses through thermal, ultraviolet, electromagnetic, and even psychic scans, bathing the world in hot pink hues or revealing hidden blood trails at will. Beneath 20 white dreadlocks capped in brass rings inscribed with runes of past great hunts, nestled among them are shards of enemy armor, fangs of vanquished prey, and the green glowing bead that marks his clan nobility. At his side, a plasma predator blade forged from dark iron and energized by twin plasma coils hums with a scarlet core like living fire, an extension of his will, fluid, precise, and utterly unstoppable. And his father, Warlord Karox of House Vorgath, fell beneath a rival's dishonorable attack. The apex invoked the ancient code of the hunter. He journeyed alone to the Razor Peaks, a serrated mountain range where one misstep spelled certain doom. There he faced the betrayer's champion in single combat amid howling thermals and swirling ash. His mask's red dots pulsed in perfect rhythm as he leapt, rock to rock, closing the distance. In one fatal arc, his plasma blade severed the rival's spine, ending the duel. Returning to his vanquished house, he claimed the warlord's throne and reshaped it into the Darkblade clan. As warlord, his role transcended mere power. He codified 3 pillars for his warriors: silent precision, ensuring every strike is deliberate with no waste or hubris; blade mastery, sanctifying the plasma blade so that only those who pass the trial of the Red Ring may bear it; and the code of balance, commanding them to hunt only worthy prey, creatures capable of fighting back and challenging the soul. Under his rule, the Darkblades became a legend, Other clans sought alliances or rites of passage beneath his banner. Some coveted the honor of facing his hunters in formal challenge. Now drawn by a series of garbled distress calls from the Badlands, an ever-shifting expanse of war-scarred colonies and mutated ecosystems, the apex recognized the ultimate quarry. Settlements had vanished overnight, garrisons were reduced to ash, and scattered witnesses spoke of an enemy wielding predator-style tactics. Nanite-laced traps, adaptive energy shields, and horns that bellowed challenges across the dunes. He led his strike cadre through ghost towns half buried in red sands. At twilight, his plasma blade carved silent arcs of scarlet light. As he dismantled scavenger patrols, jet bike skirmishes ended in fractured engines. Subterranean ambushes collapsed with precise detonations. In every mirror, his six-dot visor glowed as a promise of death. Yet with each victory, the enemy adapted. Thermal cloaks succumbed to nanite swarms. Motion sensors were jammed by pulsed EM fields. Somewhere in the dunes, a rival watcher studied him, learning. And the apex knew that to hesitate now would be dishonorable. Air-fated encounter erupted atop the Bone Spire Plateau, a limestone monolith rising like a broken fang. Under two pale moons, the apex decloaked in full view, his mask's red dots blazing. Across a fractured mask glowed green, a renegade born of an ancient bloodline. The wind carried his voice, deep and resonant through the modulator. "You defile the code, you will answer." Their blades met in a storm of sparks, red plasma licking against emerald energy edges. Muscle and armor creaked under the force of each blow. He parried a savage swing, pivoted on magnetic boots, and delivered a surgical thrust that cleaved the renegade's shoulder. As the enemy fell, the apex recalled the code of balance. Even the fallen deserve honor. He lowered his blade, reached down, and with hands scarred by centuries of war, removed the shattered mask. Beneath lay the scarred visage of a predator patriarch, once leader of the long-lost brotherhood, cursed to wander in dishonor until his transgressions were atoned. By sparing him, the apex did more than win a duel. He restored balance to a fractured legacy and elevated his clan's name beyond mere legend. Wounded, his left pauldron sheared away and dreadlocks singed, he drove his plasma blade into the plateau's heart. It pulsed once, twice, then faded, as though expiring. He spoke to the wind, letting the nanite sands carry his decree. Let all who defy the ancient codes come forth. The dark blade awaits. No prey escapes the hunger of its leader. As binary suns crested the horizon, his figure shimmered into thermoptic invisibility. The dark blade fleet, cloaked among the rising dust storms, answered with silent engines. Below, trembling colonies whispered his name. And in that echoing vastness, the apex legacy, his true name lost in time, was etched forever in red plasma and unbreakable honor.